Welcome to Seaview Circle, our recap podcast in which we review our favorite television shows and movies of the past, present, and possibly the future. And we do this all with the end goal of determining whether our viewing taste is highbrow or lowbrow.
And along the way, we talk about vintage fashions, styles, and filming locations, some of which may be lost to the decades.
Did you feel that? We're going down!
What?
We're going down!
I never got my EGOT.
Are you there, God? It's me, Dougie.
Where's Laura Lee when you really need her?
Do you think our outfits are good enough to haunt our friends with after we die?
It doesn't matter. It's too late. Oh, we have to invite our viewers to part 2 of our What You Packin' costume special, where we track some of the most notable wardrobe pieces from Yellowjackets Season 1 through 3. That's it. That's the end.
No! You forgot to tell them to like, comment, and subscribe! So now we're with Melissa, little Melissa. They all have iconic looks, but Melissa, she just seems to wear that pink baseball hat all the time.
So that I believe the fandom just calls her Pink Hat.
Right, people call her Pink Hat. And of course, at the beginning, it's bright pink.
Right.
But by the end,
by now, I'd say it's beige or...
To be quite honest, it's dusty rose.
So we first see Melissa wearing this in episode 1 of season 2. Of course, that was the first time that the character was actually truly introduced, played by Jenna Burgess. But there is proto-Melissas. Notice I said 2 because there are 2 of them in episode 3, or maybe 2, can't remember. But we have the official character introduction in episode 1 of season 2, and that hat carries through all the way through up into, I believe, the end of season 3. You know the hat.
You've seen the hat.
You've seen the hat.
You want that hat.
Now, you've also seen the jacket that she wears with the hat quite often. This is a lightweight denim jacket with like a little burgundy corduroy collar.
Yeah, it's got a corduroy collar.
She's wearing this when they kill Javi. She's wearing this, try to pull the moose. Moose?
Yeah, the moose or
Not
elk.
moose as a dessert.
Was it a moose or an elk? I don't know.
Yeah.
One of those.
So we've seen this thing all the time, and then it does come into play in season 3 as well, and it suddenly looks much bigger, and I was almost thinking that maybe this was a different jacket, but now that you're talking about the Coach Ben thing, maybe they were purposely making it look bigger to show that maybe some of these people had lost weight. Maybe.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about this look here. This is unusual. This is seen again when I believe they are pulling the moose or the elk out of the lake. And there is the pink hat and there's the jacket. And there is this weird strip of fabric here.
Floral.
That I thought at first was like, wait, is that... Well, it can't be Crystal's jacket because she wasn't even dead yet. So what is that? And then I was looking at episode 3, and when you see the blanket that they give Shauna for her baby shower, it has a very similar pattern. I don't know.
Maybe
could be.
it does look. Could be. We're calling it the baby blanket.
The baby blanket
head
scarf.
wrap, headscarf. Whatever.
And this is actually shared. It goes from Melissa to Mari. Actually, you will see a little bit later in season 2. Okay, now what else do we have from Melissa, Doug?
So we have also the green and white striped cardigan.
Oh, yeah. This is just a little 2-shot. She wears this, I believe, at the baby shower. And then I believe her friend Jen wears it a couple episodes later. Then, of course, we also have this green Argyle sweater that Melissa seems to wear quite a bit. Let's be honest. Melissa is she's liking the green.
Yeah.
And she dresses like a, like a lady golfer. Let's put it
lady
that
golfer.
way.
It's very dinosaur.
Yes, it's very
She's a
dinosaur. It's very dinosaur. I love it when she
1975.
also wears the green pleated plaid skirt. It's kind of similar to Lottie's, but it's in green. It just is like, it just doesn't really fit. But anyway, we do see this Argyle sweater appear in season 2, and then it also carries into season 3. This is in the episode you see it showcased a lot when they're going to shoot Ben, and then Akila comes in to say to everybody that he is the bridge to them getting home. You will see the Argyle sweater there. Now, the only other Melissa thing I wanted to point out was that butterfly shirt.
I see what you mean. It's a butterfly-ish.
It's when she's
there. It is. It's a butterfly.
Shauna.
Yeah.
The reason I thought it was interesting.
Well, she's just working butterfly angles.
Yes, she's like, oh, I could be Jackie. I could be Jackie for you. I mean, I do think that was the absolute intention.
Totally. I will be your Jackie.
I will be your Jackie. There is a song to be written. Come on, I know all you Yellowjackets fans out there. I see your edits. You can write a song called "I Will Be Your Jackie."
I will be your Jackie.
I want to hear it.
You know me, I like a 70s kind of style shirt.
Yeah.
I love what they call them a ringer. So
It's a
that's
good look.
cute.
It's a good
yellow
look.
with like, it's
a
like
good
chocolate
look.
brown.
And Shauna, you did Melissa dirty. But I guess she did her dirty later on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay,
got
now let's
revenge.
move on to our next player.
The next player, Misty.
Where do we begin?
Where do we begin with one of the fan favorites?
Yes. Well, we're going to start with her most ubiquitous look. This is her equipment manager, Yellowjackets jacket.
And of course, it's her identity because she's so excited
Yeah.
about being with the team.
So this not only serves the purpose of keeping her warm or keeping her protected from the elements, but it also is a part of her identity because she's the only yellow jacket out there that is not playing soccer. Okay, so she's got to hold on to what she can. She has to be important, right? That's her whole thing. She's trying to have importance among her
And she
peers.
sure does prove her importance.
She certainly does. At first, she did break the black box. She's wearing the jacket when she does that, but she does then come through in the end by providing the black box that she and Van work together.
And she's
to
very
get
good
back
at
working.
first aid.
We love Misty so much. Another one of her iconic looks we see in the first episode as well. It is this kind of what we're calling the floral bouquet. It's like a white shirt with a collar. She wears this a lot. This is then that first moment in episode 2 after the plane has crashed, and she is in that mode of providing all that first aid and seeing how her value has been upped suddenly in these people that never liked her before.
Right.
We see this shirt several times. This also carries all the way up through season 3.
It just keeps coming back for more.
Now, another one that she wears quite often is...
The pink cat shirt.
We know Misty loves a cat.
It's
She
okay.
likes
And
2 cats.
that's
She
where I
likes
was going to
3
say,
cats.
she's a kindred spirit with me too, because, I do have a really great cat sweater. She has this really great pink, kind of whimsical.
Yeah.
But she wears this a lot.
She
too.
wears this in season 1 up through, I believe, episode 8. And then we see it many times in season 2. This is actually when she's giving her soliloquy during Shauna's baby shower. She is wearing that. And then again in season 3, we see it a few more times, even all the way up to episode 7, I believe. That's when she's out in the wilderness. She's lost her glasses, remember?
Yeah.
And there's that whole chase with, I think, Akila's there and Travis and Kodiak, and she loses her glasses, and then she finds the little ribbon and all that kind of stuff. She's wearing that then. Now, another cat shirt she wears is this yellow cat shirt. This, to me, though, I can't really tell. Is it like a cheetah or something?
Yeah, it's like a cheetah. It's got a big tail. It almost looks like it's embroidered onto the shirt itself, and it's got big floppy sleeves. But of course, she's cornered the market on
She's cornered the market.
It might not be a cat, but it's a big cat.
It's a big cat. And, I bet you she's out there scouring the thrift stores looking for cat sweatshirts nowadays. Then we also have the flamingo shirt. Remember this one?
At first, I couldn't really figure. I thought it was bumblebees.
I know, they kinda
when I
look like
initially looked at it, or roaches. I don't know. I kept thinking it was an homage to Yellowjackets, but then when you really look, it's flamingos. Now,
Shows her personality.
We know she loves animals.
Yeah.
She's a bird lover.
Right.
So
exactly.
flamingos make sense. Cats, birds, whatever.
We see this several times in season 1, and one time here I think we're showing is episode 7 when they go to look for help. She's pairing it with her dungarees, which she wears several times as well. In fact, she wears the dungarees with this really cool sweater, which I believe is also sort of a red herring. It's meant to look like the famous sweater we've already talked about that ends up as Van's balaclava.
It's similar.
Very similar in the kind of concept, but you can tell that it's different. The color, it's way more colorful. It has this kind of wave pattern.
I remember going to school and girls wearing sweaters that looked just like this. Very
remember that
mass
kind of look.
manufactured.
My sister definitely had it.
Yeah,
this same
machine
kind of sweater,
made.
for sure. I like it though. I really like that that look a lot. Now let's talk about this. This is one of your favorite things, right? You love this look.
You mean this?
Yeah,
this
kind
isn't
of like
quite.
that, yeah.
Hers is more of a sash.
Maybe if you pull it around like that.
Well,
where did you get that?
I made this.
Oh my
So no,
gosh.
I got this inspiration from the looks here, but it was also when I read from the costume designers, they talked about how obviously they're going to be running out of supplies or they need things that they can utilize. So this would be the airline seat. And what I did is I found there was an old chair on the corner.
Oh my gosh.
Big leather chair.
Okay.
And I noticed that somebody already took a piece off and I thought it was vinyl. but when I cut through, it was like it's leather and suede.
I mean, we used to say that the wilderness provides, but here in Jefferson Park, Los Angeles, the neighborhood provides.
And look at this. I've got enough here if you want to cover a chair or something.
Or just make your favorite Yellowjackets cosplay outfit.
Yeah, look, suede.
Oh my gosh, look.
This could be a tunic.
Because that's what she also wears. Misty also then wears this kind of suede poncho. Now, we do know, I did read that the suede poncho that she eventually wears, that shows up also in episode 1 in the pilot with that reveal, that is vegan. Like they took like a faux deer skin or something to make that look or whatever. But anyway, this is cool. This is, again, showing the resourcefulness of the Yellowjackets out there, being there for 12 months, 13 months, 14 months, whatever. They go back to the plane. They scavenge those pieces.
They take the seat belts too.
It is really funny when she has the vinyl and it like turns into this jacket. It's like super, super bulky.
Yeah.
But they're
using the seams though,
it's weatherproof, you know?
Right.
And in this one, this was to show that she was one of the lawyers in Ben's trial. We do see later with Shauna, I believe, or Thaisa actually, that she also has something similar because she is the prosecutor, right?
Yeah.
Now, one more look that I wanted to mention was this scarf thing. It's like, it actually looks like it's a shirt. It's like a thermal ribbed shirt, and it's turquoise, purple, and maybe cream. And I've never seen this shirt worn by anybody before, but it definitely makes an impact in season 2. This is what she's wearing when she basically verbally pushes Crystal off Shit Ridge, and she looks like Kenny from South Park with the she has the orange hoodie over it and then this little scarf. But this then reappears actually a couple other times, I think another time in season 2, and also in the finale there, season
it really
10, or season 3 episode 10.
It looks like it was originally like a polo neck, but
obviously
it makes more sense for them to have it as a headpiece.
I think it's a cool look, and I have to say I feel like it's somewhat of a missed opportunity that didn't end up in like one of the Hunt costumes. I don't think you see it, but it's so cool. It's so striking. I love that look to it.
And
kind of
guess what, folks? You can make one of these too.
You
probably.
absolutely could.
Go to the thrift store, go find a ribbed jumper, and like just cut it up.
Yes.
Put it over your head.
We hear there's some crazy blizzards out there back east. Now we're going to finally move on to Miss Natalie Scartorchio. Okay, we were talking about the airlines, right? You mentioned that this looked like an airline blanket.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty much convinced that. So this look, it's like a very much a draped fabric look, but what's interesting about it is it has these stripe element to it as well, and it really looks to me like those vintage airline blankets. They're kind of thin. They were usually made of acrylic or like maybe
they're the kind that if you like went like this, like with the blanket, you'd see sparks.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that is what that is. Like, it's something that they've taken from the airliner.
It's a really, really cool look on Natalie for sure. Now we're also going to talk about this look.
Oh boy, this is one of the best.
This is kind of still a leftover from Misty in a way, but it's also Natalie and it's also Travis. This is this bear pelt. We first see Travis wearing it, actually, again in that the moment where they're trying to force feed Ben.
I think this one always would be like the best Halloween costume.
Oh my God, yeah.
You could do the same thing. You could probably find a furry pillow and just cut some holes and a mouth in it. It's really spooky.
So what happens once Travis wears it as kind of like a butcher's apron, then unfortunately Natalie literally wears it as a butcher's apron when she puts Ben out of his misery. And then eventually we see this on Misty, and this is that moment from episode 10 of season 3 and also the pilot, right? The flash forward when she lifts that up and reveals herself in that suede poncho we already mentioned and this kind of cool turquoise, pink, and purple. I guess that's another type of anorak there too.
Yeah.
So anyway, interesting that those moments come full circle.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about some iconic Natalie looks. What do we got?
Of course, the leather jacket.
Oh my God.
The leather jacket just speaks Natalie to me. So this starts off even before they get on the plane. She's wearing this when she's hanging out with the boys.
She's wearing it on the plane.
She's on the plane.
She wears it so many times. She wears it sometimes underneath some like bear pelts or something when she's going
And let's face it, that's a warm piece of clothing.
Yes. She's lucky. She's one of the lucky ones that has a really, really warm piece of clothing right out of the gate. Now, at the party we were talking about earlier, she also pairs it with these like kind of gothic collar, right? I think it's like a crushed green velvet shirt.
I love that look.
And then she also wears it, unfortunately, in, again, that passing moment of the character as an adult when she sees her younger self on the airplane. She is also wearing that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we also have the iconic purple and black striped shirt.
That purple striped top she wears with a ton of different things.
Well, here's the thing. When people make dolls of her, like homemade dolls of Natalie, they often dress her in that look. But when we did the research, I only found her wearing this in episodes 1 and 2 of season 1. And then way later on in season 3, she does wear it like 3 episodes in a row.
Yeah, so maybe that's.
But I thought she wore it all the time.
Yeah,
she wears other striped shirts, so maybe that's where.
Well, I mean, in general, I will say this: there are so many stripes in the wardrobe. Like even the stuff we're not talking about right now.
Oh my gosh,
there's so many stripes.
Now, another iconic piece that she wears often are these black and white plaid pants. Remember those?
Yes,
I do. You can see that, I believe, when she's going hunting. I believe in season 1 with Travis, and she wears these all the way up through, I think, season 2. I don't know if we see them in season 3, so maybe they burned in the cabin. I wish I kind of had those. I don't know that I would be able to wear them as fashionably as
elegantly.
Let's talk about the bowling shirt. That's that red shirt.
The bowling shirt's really cool.
Like the blue.
Yeah, it's like
panels.
a red shirt that has these blue, like navy blue panels. It's a very cool looking piece of clothing.
That first appears in episode 6, I believe, after they come back with the deer, maybe, and it's like all diseased or something. But we do see it again and again. Sometimes it's hidden under other layers, but it does make a reappearance even after season 1, all the way into season 3. I believe it was even in one of like the promo photos. You really see a good shot of it from the front. So that's a really, really cool shirt. Some there it kind of looks more like black panels, but it's the same.
Yeah,
shirt.
Black or navy blue. It's hard to tell sometimes when you look at these.
We also have this shirt, which again, you couldn't tell if that was a green stripe, but to me it looks more aqua in other photos. This is a sleeveless little shirt that she wears, but this again is a piece that she wears quite often. All right, any other Natalie looks that we need to talk about?
We talked about the bear for...
one more thing I wanted to discuss was the Doomcoming dress. And the only reason I bring it up, other than the fact that it's quite cool, it's this leopard print like slip dress, right?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I thought it was more of like these 1940s dress when I first looked at it, but yeah, it's leopard.
I do believe this does appear later on. And it's like used as like a scarf or something. Like it's just like in the cold weather, she has it like around her mouth or something. I can't remember, but it's you definitely can surmise that might be the same item. In episode 206, though off the top of my head I can't remember.
Yeah, 206 is what
scene
it's noted.
Okay. Well, this is a nice segue because our next character alphabetically is Robin, who is introduced in season 3 officially, although we call out a proto Robin in season 1 who looks kind of somewhat similar and also appears in the team photos as well. But we see her wearing this iconic piece. We keep saying iconic because these are those moments
they
where
are
like,
iconic.
What is this? What is it?
Yeah.
So Robin wears the rose-colored raincoat in episode 3 of season 3. So that's where it actually technically debuts, right? But it does switch hands. She wears it a couple times. This is when they're going to get Coach Ben from the cave, I believe. But after she returns a couple episodes later, then you see Shauna wearing it. And this again is where they're going to force feed Ben, right? Maybe she didn't want to get
I thought the
upchuck on
right. It's definitely like a waterproof number. So like if you don't want any vomit, you just wash that vomit and right off.
So what's interesting, I believe, is that in episode 9 of season 3, we see Robin wearing this again. But then what happens to this piece? It goes on a really interesting journey because this is part of Natalie's hunt costume that she then swaps with Hannah, right? That's that whole moment where she's given that opportunity to escape. And so that's why it becomes really iconic, because when you see the feast in episode 1 of the pilot, you see someone sitting next to the Antler Queen wearing this jacket. So again, the costume designers had to get this vinyl, whatever, plastic jacket out there into the wilderness, even though we'd never seen it before season 3. And they gave it to Robin as an opportunity because we hadn't really been tracking Robin officially until then. So it makes sense. Very cool. Love that. Another piece that Robin wears that I thought was kind of interesting is this navy and white kind of naval top. And she wears it in the first few episodes of season 3. Other than those two pieces, though, Robin doesn't have a very interesting wardrobe.
Not too interesting. interesting and doesn't get a lot of camera time.
I don't imagine she'll be around much longer in season 4. Either.
No, I think she's gonna get eaten. That's
All
my
right,
guess.
Now let's move on to really the
central character of the show, one of the baddest badasses ever.
Badasses ever. This is Miss Shauna Shipman. Okay, where do you want to start? Let's start with the plane. Again, we have her arriving wearing a magenta and maybe it's like gray or brown flannel or a plaid. It's a plaid.
I've been calling her the queen of flannel.
For sure.
For sure.
The
queen of plaid, the queen of flannel.
Oh my gosh.
Miss Shauna Shipman.
What I like about this particular piece here is that so often we're seeing her wearing the Jackie butterfly. But in this case, this is the only instance, I believe, where we see, maybe other than the swapping back and forth of the necklace. But here we have this shirt showing up on Jackie way later in the season.
Right.
So I think that was kind of a cool little moment there. Okay. Now, most iconic, again, like you just said, are the flannels. She has 2 flannels that we see over and over and over again.
Yeah.
One of them is the red flannel.
I'm always looking at it's like red and gray or red and beige. I don't know.
It's more like a tan because as it gets more soiled, it becomes more like that kind of tone. This really, to me, is what I kind of see her in all the time. And I probably bet that the fan-made dolls of Shauna often have her wearing this flannel.
I noticed, too, that, and we're not talking about it really in this episode, but in the adult timelines, the Shauna character wears a lot of plaid,
Absolutely.
too. Always. She's still wearing it. She's still rocking it.
So this one makes several appearances in season 1. We do see it again in season 2, and we see it several times all the way up through season 3. It's almost like I'd say her uniform in season 3. This is all through the seduction of Melissa, or I wouldn't say seduction, more like manipulation. Really, let's be honest. She's wearing this often in times where she's trying to assert her dominance over everybody else. So this is, again, an iconic look. I know we keep on saying it.
The word iconic, we're going to have to do like the drinking game.
Drinking game. We'd be drunk by now. The other plaid she wears all the time is this kind of white, black, and mustard yellow. And again, this one you see a lot of. She's wearing this in that amazing scene with the confrontation with Jackie at the end of season 1. But you also see it underneath things, and you see it even in episode 10 of season 3, carried all the way through to then. This is where she looks like she's doing the Hunger Games there.
Yeah, it's very Hunger Games.
So that, to me, is like, again, it's classic Shauna. Now, there are some other pieces that are interesting.
Well, of course, one of the favorites is her own butterfly shirt, Shauna's butterfly.
Right.
Which is, now I don't want to butcher the French pronunciation. Can you do it? Le d'espoir, which means glimmer of hope in French. Yeah. So it's interesting kind of choice.
I just really think that's interesting how they have tied the Jackie and the Shauna together with the butterfly and then later the Melissa as well, as we already mentioned. Now, this shirt does appear, I think, only a couple times though, right?
I mean, most of the time she's wearing Jackie's butterfly, but this does show up a few times.
Yeah, this does show up.
This is a really interesting look.
Okay,
though.
so this was also in the Doom Coming episode, I believe, but it's depending on how it's photographed, it looks totally different.
Well, it's kind of like a strange, to me it looks like a poncho almost.
This looks like it's very expensive. This is like a cashmere, oversized poncho.
Yeah.
It's gray with blue, but then it also has red stripes.
And
red,
it's asymmetrical.
Horizontal.
Vertical and horizontal.
Yeah, and also has a hood.
Yeah.
So we first see it, I believe, in the Doom Coming episode, and then we see it in that devastating moment when she finds Jackie frozen out there in the snow. And then it comes back again in season 2 in another devastating series of moments here. This is when she goes into labor and she has the baby. She is also wearing this item then.
Well, maybe it's more of her sleepwear. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
she was sleeping with that. Yeah. She woke up. It's cold outside, whatever.
I think you're right. Now, let's talk about this combination here. This is the hunter green jacket, like a canvas jacket, and then she often wears it with this V-neck sweater. It's navy blue with white piping. We see this a lot in season 2, but we see the hunter green jacket like a lot. She really, really wears this as well, all the way through season 2, and I believe into season 3 as well. This is when she's pointing the rifle at Melissa. She is wearing that jacket. Okay. Now, what else? How about this? This is interesting, right? This
that
little
T-shirt, and I've never been able to figure it out. It looks like a little floral type of number, small flowers, and it looks very comfortable.
You know, it's like kind of like a lightweight thermal, kind of like you'd see that as like an undershirt. She wears that in season 1, and then it comes back in season 3 when she's trying to coerce everybody to vote Ben guilty. I think it's interesting how that makes a big jump from season 1 to season 3 before we see that again. Now we also have this, the rabbit ears.
Oh, the rabbit ears.
We know how much Shauna has this thing about rabbits, right?
And we can remember in the adult timeline when she actually like kills the rabbit, skins it, and feeds it to the family.
And then remember, Jackie's mom knew that Shauna liked rabbits, and so she kept giving her the rabbit statues.
Ooh,
yes.
Wow, this little. Here's one we prepared.
Earlier. So I think that's why maybe Shauna chose this rabbit ear disguise, which of course then we know later that Melissa opts for the hunt, and we see that also carried into the season 1
and that
pilot.
is a seriously spooky looking outfit.
What I heard during an interview, I read during an interview with Marie Schley again, she said that they were working on these costumes, these masks, and she went back to the showrunners, right, Ashley and Bart, and they would say, no, you need to make it more obscured because, again, they were filming that scene up in Mammoth, remember, like in the pilot, like way before. They didn't know who these people were. They were all stunt performers. So, like, we had to obscure more. So they actually made this one, like, the morning of as an alternative.
Oh, wow.
And it ends up being, to me, one of the most memorable looks from that pilot. So that's cool.
I think we're done with Shauna.
We're done with Shauna. Let's move on to Thaisa.
It's time for another one of the main characters.
Yes. Now, Thaisa falls into the same trap, I think, as Coach Ben does a little bit. Okay, that a lot of this stuff that she wears has this connection to the team. So she does wear a lot of the Yellowjackets logo stuff. One of the items that she wears all the time is just the standard Wisquiack High School WHS. It's like a heather gray ringer tee, and it's her heather blue maybe.
Yeah.
And you see actually a lot of the Yellowjackets wearing this, including who we're calling Proto Crystal in episode 103. But we also see Van and Nat wearing this shirt in episode 104. We see Shauna and Nat wearing this episode.
Now that we don't know, are they wearing the same shirt?
Oh no, they're not. They're wearing.
They all have their own version.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. They're wearing their own version of this. But I do think we see Thaisa wearing it the most. And what I think is interesting about it is that in season 3, we see that she's done her own modifications on the shirt, because in season 3 she turns it inside out. You see in episode 1. And she has like added some things to the collar.
Oh yeah,
right?
I see. Yeah,
so that's kind of fun. I thought I'd bring that up because there's some modifications. We like when we see the modifications. Yeah. Now, what would be some of her more iconic looks? It was iconic again. Oh my gosh.
One of the pieces that she always wears is this denim jacket that has this kind of Navajo or
it's like a Native American
print on the sleeves.
I think this was introduced in season 2, episode 1, and it is carried throughout. This again would be a kind of a warmer weather thing that she can layer.
Yep.
And I think it's a really cool look, and it very much of the era. I remember people wearing stuff like this. We see this all the way up.
Well, they've
to
kind of been bringing
season
that
3.
back recently too.
I agree.
You know, I think I have a sweatshirt that has this similar kind of print.
Yeah. Let's talk about this head wrap, right? With the chartreuse and kind of navy blue. It kind of has a cool pattern on it. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe a fleur-de-lis. I'm not really sure. But I think it's cool that even in the accessories, you do see these carry through. And I think Akilah also has like a gray handkerchief that she uses as a head wrap as well. So that's a cool little detail. Another item that kind of goes with the Native American denim jacket are these patchwork jeans.
Yeah.
She wears these all the time.
These come back several times.
Right. I believe we first see these in season 1, and they do carry on into season 2 and season 3 several times. She's wearing them at the trial as well with that plum t-shirt.
The plum t-shirt shows up a lot too.
Quite a bit. And also in this jury, right, the jury moment there, she also has one of these kind of...
they're doing the blanket thing.
The blanket thing, right? So does Van. Van also has
and the
seat
seatbelts. It's almost like that militant look, where it's like we say a uniform, which is what the costume designer said they were going for.
And it
trying to create
major
something.
impact in that firing squad
And I mean,
moment.
I don't know what that blanket is, but that's pretty amazing. It's like a quilted blanket. It looks like a moving blanket, but it's way more stylized.
Yeah, like a moving blanket. Totally. All right, any other looks here for Thais that we want to mention?
There's also this dark shirt. It's like a burgundy shirt that has these starbursts.
Yeah.
And she wears that quite a bit, too.
I think that's in season 1. I don't know if it comes... Oh, it does come back. It does come back.
I think it comes back. 306.
Yeah, so it shows up in season 3 in episode 6. That's cool.
Yeah. And then there's actually another look here. This is the other look.
This one she wears all the time.
This is more the athletic where it's a zip up, kind of like, is it nylon probably?
Probably nylon. That is like a teal and a baby blue and a white. And she wears this all the time. I think you'll see this a lot in season 2 when they're doing that with Van. She's with Van.
It's probably a waterproof one again, too.
And they're mapping the symbols in the trees, right? And that, I believe, shows up in season 3 as well. One other thing I want to mention real quickly is a piece that I would say the fashion designers missed this one a little bit. This is the shirt that she's wearing underneath this cool knit poncho.
I can see that, yeah.
That appears in the pilot as well, and here it is also here.
It's a plaid, though, isn't it?
Where was this shirt between episode 1 of season 1 and episode 10 of season 3?
I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
Thais's hunt look is one of my favorites in general. I think it's really, really cool. It's like a badger on the top of the head. And then the sweater that is the mask is really cool too. Where did that go? Where is the sweater that fashioned that mask? No idea.
We don't know.
All right, we're going to move on to Travis. We're going to go quickly through him. He's got pretty boring clothes. He also wears that gold and blue navy fleece zip up that Coach Ben has. He wears that in season 2 quite a few times, but that's pretty much it. The item that you see most of his is another one of these plaid shirts.
I have one that looks just like that.
And he wears it all the time, kids. He's wearing it here in the Doom Coming in season 1. He wears it throughout season 2 underneath certain things. He pairs it, I believe, with Van's co-ed naked shirt as well.
Right, and we're going to talk about that in a moment.
Very soon. And then, of course, he wears it in season 3 when he's tripped out on mushrooms with Lottie, right? We see that all the way, I believe, up until the very end of season 3, episode 10. All right.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to Van.
Let's just go to Van now because speaking of co-ed, naked soccer playing, let's talk about it. This is Van's like
naked
famous t-shirt.
T-shirt is truly iconic, right? Everybody knows about this because in the first episode, the pilot, the person who steps up to the pit is wearing this t-shirt, which is kind of a funny 90s
I wonder if we can find that shirt somewhere. I bet you could.
You can. Now let's track it, okay? Because the first time we actually see it in the timeline is in episode 7 of season 1. Okay, there she is.
But then guess who wears it again later? In season 2, episode 7.
Right.
Tequila's wearing it.
Yeah.
But then...
you gotta have a close eye to see that, I believe.
Right. And then it jumps a couple more episodes later to Travis.
Yes.
Because he's wearing it.
I believe this is when they're, I don't know, with Lottie has been all beaten up by Shauna and she comes down, like resurging from her mild coma. I believe that is when Travis is wearing the shirt there. And then later on, Van resumes wearing it in season 3. And then, of course, as we know, it ends up as part of their hunt.
The
outfit,
hunt.
Right?
Right. So it goes full circle.
Yeah.
Back to episode 1, but episode 310.
Right, exactly. Now, what else we got? Another piece that Van wears all the time is this Yellowjackets hoodie. Again, it's navy and gold. It has Yellowjackets logo on the front, and it has yellow stripes on the sleeves. Actually, quite a few people wear this. I think Thaisa wears this. Mm-hmm. I believe Robin wears this. I know Coach Ben has one. So again, this is an item that multiple people have. I don't know if they're technically
And I would say the one thing, though, is that Van, as I said before, she's always wearing stripes. There's a lot of stripes in the whole show.
Oh, my
but
God.
Van is
usually burgundy, usually hunter green or navy, maroon, gold, all these different kind of rugby shirts or any of these t-shirts.
Yeah.
The Tigra one we first see, I believe, in episode 3 of season 1, and then we see it again.
But later on, we see it, but I don't think it has a La Tigra logo anymore on it. That's what's kind of weird. I mean, look now when you can. It looks like it's a La Tigra. Unless it's like an optical illusion.
Maybe.
To me, it looks like there's a logo there.
Okay.
And it's long, so that's why I was thinking.
Right.
But I could be wrong. But
Anyway, the shirt does come back. That is another one that we wanted to track. We also have the brown Doomcoming little vest, the waistcoat vest that we see a few more times after Doomcoming. I think we see it layered on a couple pieces, and then we also see it, I think, even up through season 3. What do you think?
And we didn't even talk about those great eye patches, but those are fun too.
Oh, right. After her face was chewed off by the wolf.
Right.
A couple other pieces that we do see Van wearing quite often are the taupe zip-up hoodie with a stripe on the side. It looks so 90s to me, this piece. I absolutely remember seeing this. It's like that kind of knit that's like really small knit. It's the kind of outfit where you wear the sweater like 3 times and it totally stretches out and it's like worthless. Okay, I remember that. Then she also has this dark blue plaid flannel zip-up jacket. This is whenever like Van is badass. Okay, she puts on dark blue plaid, and this is when Javi
is it like blue and green too? It looks like blue and green.
It's cute. Zipper, and this does make an appearance, I believe, also going into season 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
309 and 310.
Yeah. Now, a couple new pieces are introduced in season 3. We have Van wearing this cut-off dark plaid shirt. I believe that is in episodes 1 and 2, maybe a couple episodes later on as well. Kind of, I think it's kind of a cool look, actually. And then
we bring back the vinyl.
Yes.
The airline tunic. I don't know how I haven't cut a hole in this yet.
This is for the summer solstice, this great catch-up monologue, right? It's really a carryover from the season 2 finale where she does the storytelling by the fire. And now here we are doing the storytelling of what has happened since the cabin fire at the beginning of season 3. And what I found out actually from the costume designer is that Marie Schley, she worked with Liv on that piece because Liv did not want to look as sort of like glamorous as those other solstice robes. They wanted it to be someone that fit in with their gender expression. So they saw it as Peter Pan. That was the I was going to
say, I thought that was what I had read something about that too. So
I think it's a really, really cool look. That one. But of course, we don't see that again, really, I don't think. But we did want to make a mention of it. So is that the end of the line here?
Well, it's the end of the line, except there's a few other little items that do have some importance.
Yes.
And we do need to talk about them. But I guess what order do you want to talk about it?
Let's talk about the necklace just really quickly in passing, which is to say that the necklace switches back and forth so many times between Jackie and Shauna and Nat and Shauna and Mari, and I'm so confused that I didn't even really track it. But we just know that this is the thing. This is that
it's handed
badge of dishonor, really.
Right. And you get ready to go on the hunt. You get to wear.
You don't want to be wearing that necklace.
You don't want to be wearing the heart, but you get the heart.
Yeah.
So that moves and grooves.
Yeah. The last item we're going to talk about here, right, is the other one that really kept everybody guessing.
It was kept everybody guessing for a very long time, but it's the pink Converse.
The pink Converse. Really the ultimate red herring.
Yeah. Even upon going back through like all these episodes again, I found it really hard sometimes to track them. And one of the things I ended up doing was going on Reddit, and I found people who had pictures of the cast while they were filming. Right. And so that actually helped in affirming, like, okay, this person is wearing this item. And I think then you went back and you were able to look at something. You said,
obviously when you're filming a scene and you're filming actors, you're really trying to film, their face. You're really trying to film from like the waist up.
Well,
most
I noticed
of the time.
that you never really see the shoes too often.
Very rarely.
Nobody's showing the shoes.
Very rarely. Yeah. However, we do see Miss Lottie Matthews wearing the pink Converse during Doomcoming when they're making the masks and stuff out on the porch. You can see it very quickly. And then we jump forward a few more episodes. I believe this is in episode 206, I believe. And this is actually like in a quasi dream state because this is when Shauna is like lost the baby, but she thinks that the baby's still alive, and she's envisioning that her teammates are eating the baby.
Right. She's having the vision.
You can see Mari wearing the pink Converse in that scene.
That's kind of interesting, isn't it?
So then later on after that, we have Akilah wearing them. And this is very clear. Actually, you can see this on camera because in episode 3 of season 3, when she's also having these kind of weird dream sequences in the cave, you know, from the fumes, you see her sinking down into the ground and she is
Oh, that's right. You see her feet just go right down the pink
But
shoes.
you can actually also see her wearing the pink Converse, I believe, in one scene outside of the dream sequence. And then we know that she's also wearing them in episode 4 because, like you said, there is an on-set photo of her where she's wearing the same outfit she wears during the trial, and she's wearing the pink Converse then. That is also how we found out that Mari was wearing the pink Converse in episode 7 of season 3. This, again, is when they're taking the arrow out of Melissa, and we had an on-set photo of Mari wearing those, and then I was able to look very quickly, just for a little quick moment. You can see her wearing the pink Converse in that scene from a longer shot. Obviously, we know that eventually Van is wearing the pink Converse.
So I guess everybody has about the same foot size.
Yeah. Isn't that
that convenient? Unless they're like real big.
I wonder how they did that.
Everybody.
They must have gotten like several pairs because not everybody has the same shoe size, I imagine, right? And then they had to like all mess them up at same levels and pass them around. But that is the ultimate red herring moment where they're trying to misdirect who is this person by showing multiple people wearing the item. Now, the question we have for you all, are there other people that wear these shoes? To me, I would think that Misty would be wearing these shoes. Where is Misty wearing these shoes?
I always felt like she was wearing them, but I didn't see it, but maybe you can find it.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Anything that we've missed.
And if someone has that like exact tracking of the necklace, I'd love that as well. Because my head was just spinning with that. If anybody can do that, we would really appreciate it.
And as we said before too, there are other looks that are pretty
there
like,
are 120 more looks.
But we had to kind of hone it down. We want to keep this episode under 2 hours, or at least maybe under 2 parts.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Wow, so there you have it. Whew, what you packing, kids? They're packing a lot of clothes, clearly.
And maybe this is going to inspire you for your...
for your next cosplay.
Yeah,
There's so many great looks to choose from.
Or maybe you're going out to dinner tomorrow night and you might feel like you want to make a mask.
Why not?
Show up for
Why
dinner
not?
wearing rabbit ears.
Oh, rabbit ear stockings. Why not? All right, now, before we let you go, we do have a postcard from the edge. Was that good?
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
We're going to read this, and then after that, Doug is going to go put the special mushroom soup on the kettle, if you know what I mean. Okay, so this is from YouTube user, MXTXSS, something like that.
All right, let me read it. Give it to me. I put this. Okay. YouTube user MXTXSHX. This is such a good breakdown on the extra jackets, but I just noticed some errors and I also wanted to add some information.
Oh, well, I never.
I think there's supposed to be 19 girls in season 1, despite there being more on screen at one point. At the pep rally, 17 players are lined up with jerseys number 1 to 18, and number 14 is missing. In the team photos, 3 girls are missing, but once again, the jerseys go from number 1 to 18. Based on what Sarah said about the stunt actors, I think Melissa 2, Crystal 2, and Brown Hair don't really count as characters, even though they appear on screen with everybody else going to the lake.
True.
And also, the team photos / pep rally clearly indicate there's supposed to be 18 players plus Misty. One last thing. The 3 unnamed extras from season 2 also briefly appear in episode 4. I think towards the end of the episode, which you missed, Nuha Jess has a pic of the 3 extras on her Instagram back from when season 2 was airing and tags the actors. Yeah.
Okay, well, I have to say,
interesting.
I can't pronounce or say that again, what your username is, but I really appreciate your comment. In fact, I should say this, Doug, it was much longer, actually.
Oh, wow.
I just cut out that particular part. I want to let you know, and I want to let everybody know, that Doug and I are going to do an Extra Jackets Audit Part 2, and it will address these issues as well as others that people have brought up. Plus, we also have this concept that now Melissa has entered into adulthood, which we didn't know when we did the original audit. So that makes the core 7 now the core 8. So a lot of things we need to kind of like rejudge that. We did that like after episode 2 or 3 of season 3, so we have to update all that information. But great catch. So we will have that episode coming up at some point.
Right, and if you want to message us, remember you can email us. It's seeviewcircle, SEEVIEW @gmail.com.
And of course, we're also looking for you to like, comment, and share and subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. You know, we're getting
on YouTube.
We really have been struggling here now, trying to just get close to that 1,000 mark. You know,
hovering.
Yeah, we should have more than 1,000.
I mean,
come on.
Look at all the research we just
Tell
did.
your friends, okay? Tell your friends, tell your family.
But we thank you so much for sticking with us. We know it was a long episode and perhaps 2 parts, actually.
Perhaps.
We are going to have that Extra Jackets Part 2 coming up sometime in the near future. And we will also be doing our continuing coverage of Knots Landing. We're going to start with the Season 3 2-part opener, the tragic ending of Don Murray's role on that show. That's coming up soon. So stay hungry, friends, and we will see you then back on the sack. Bye-bye. I think you should do the rest of the episode with your leg behind your head.
Yeah, I'll try to do. Yeah, good luck with that. That's going to be cut. No.
No, that's good. That's staying in.
I will
That's
be
staying in.
Jackie.
That's staying in.